Welcome to World Numismatic Finds, where we explore the fascinating history and hidden value of classic British coinage. Today we are taking a closer look at the UK sixpence coins, featuring 4 intriguing examples from different years and conditions. The 1958 sixpence in dirty condition, the 1960 sixpence in circulating condition, the 1956 sixpence in fine condition, and the 1963 sixpence with a faded appearance. Each of these coins tells its own unique story from Britain's rich monetary past, reflecting both everyday circulation and collector interest. Among these, we highlight our top 4 rare finds, showcasing how condition, age, and historical significance can influence desirability in the numismatic world. Let's get started up with the UK sixpence from 1958, specifically a piece found in dirty and heavily circulated condition. At first glance, it may seem like just another old coin from everyday change, but within the world of coin collecting, every scratch, every mark, and every layer of age tells a story of history, circulation, and hidden value that continues to attract attention in today's growing collector market. The British sixpence has a long and respected background in UK currency history. It was once a widely used denomination before decimalisation in 1971, often referred to as a tanner in everyday British slang. By 1958, the sixpence was no longer struck in silver as earlier pre-1947 issues were, but instead produced in a cupronickel composition, consisting mainly of copper and nickel. This change marked an important transition in British coinage history, as the Royal Mint adapted to modern economic conditions and material availability after the Second World War. Even though it is not silver, the 1958 sixpence still carries strong nostalgic and historical appeal, representing everyday life in post-war Britain. In terms of physical specifications, the 1958 UK sixpence is a small but finely crafted coin. It typically weighs around 2.83 grams and has a diameter of approximately 19.41 millimeters. Despite its modest size, the coin features intricate detailing, including the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, which in 1958 would be the early young portrait design created by Mary Gillick. On the reverse, the elegant floral design symbolizing the English rose, Scottish thistle, and Irish shamrock can often be seen, depending on the specific design variation of the period. Even in a dirty and worn condition, these artistic details can still be partially visible, giving collectors a glimpse into its original mint brilliance. When it comes to rarity, the 1958 sixpence is not considered a rare date in general circulation terms. Millions were minted, and many entered everyday use across the United Kingdom. However, condition plays a crucial role in determining interest and value. A dirty, heavily circulated example like the one being discussed today represents the true working life of the coin. It may show scratches, discoloration, and smoothing of details due to decades of handling. While this reduces numismatic grade, it increases its character appeal for certain collectors who enjoy, as found, historical pieces that carry authentic wear from real circulation rather than preserved mint-state examples. Now moving on to the most exciting part for many viewers, the current market value in today's collector landscape. In normal circulated condition, a 1958 UK sixpence typically holds a modest value, often ranging from around 10 cents to $2 depending on demand and condition. However, in collector-driven markets, especially online auction platforms and private sales, speculative and hype-driven pricing can sometimes inflate perceived value significantly. In some exaggerated listings, similar coins have been claimed to reach figures such as $1,000, $2,500, and even as high as $3,800, although these figures are not standard market realities and usually reflect over-enthusiastic pricing rather than confirmed sales. Written in numbers, these speculative values would appear as $1,000, $2,500, and $3,800, showing how perception can sometimes dramatically differ from actual collector transactions. It is important to understand that a dirty, circulated 1958 sixpence does not typically command high auction prices in professional numismatic grading. However, the fascination remains strong due to its historical context and accessibility. Many beginner collectors are drawn to such coins because they are affordable, widely available, and serve as an excellent introduction to British pre-decimal currency collecting. The coin's true value often lies more in its historical storytelling than in monetary worth alone. For collectors interested in handling coins like this, there are a few important tips to keep in mind. It is always recommended to avoid cleaning the coin, even if it appears dirty, as cleaning can significantly reduce collector value and damage the natural surface patina. Storing the coin in a dry, stable environment is essential to prevent further corrosion or discoloration. Handling should be done carefully, preferably by the edges, to avoid adding fingerprints or oils that can affect long-term preservation. Collectors should also compare multiple examples from different years to understand how slight variations in condition and minting impact desirability in the wider market. At number 2, the fascinating United Kingdom Sixpence from 1960, a coin that continues to attract attention from collectors and enthusiasts around the world. Even though many examples of this coin spent years in everyday circulation, interest in the 1960 sixpence remains remarkably strong. Its historic design, connection to British heritage, and growing collector demand have helped make it one of the most talked-about vintage British coins in the numismatic community. The 1960 sixpence was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and formed an important part of Britain's pre-decimal currency system. For generations, the sixpence was a familiar coin in daily transactions and became deeply connected with British traditions and culture. The obverse features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, while the reverse displays the elegant floral design that collectors instantly recognize. As time has passed, surviving examples have become increasingly desirable, especially among those seeking to build complete collections of British coinage from the 20th century. When discussing the physical characteristics of the coin, the 1960 sixpence has a weight of approximately 2.83 grams and was struck in cupronickel. Despite its relatively small size, the coin carries significant historical importance. The detailed craftsmanship and durable composition have allowed many examples to survive for decades, giving collectors an opportunity to own a genuine piece of British monetary history. The rarity of a 1960 sixpence largely depends on its condition. Coins that circulated heavily often display wear on the portrait, lettering, and reverse design. However, even circulated examples continue to attract interest because they represent authentic pieces of everyday British life from more than 60 years ago. Collectors often appreciate these circulated specimens for their character and historical appeal. As demand for vintage British coins continues to grow, many enthusiasts actively search for well-preserved examples from this period. In today's collector market, stories frequently circulate about exceptional 1960 sixpence coins reaching impressive values. Some enthusiasts speculate that particularly desirable examples with outstanding preservation, unusual characteristics, or strong collector demand could command prices of $2,500, $5,000, or even $10,000. In numerical terms, these figures represent $2,500, $5,000, and $10,000 respectively. Such remarkable valuations generate excitement throughout the collecting community and encourage many people to examine their old coin collections more closely. While values can vary considerably depending on condition and market interest, the possibility of discovering a highly sought-after specimen continues to fuel enthusiasm among collectors worldwide. For collectors interested in the 1960 sixpence, careful examination is always worthwhile. Looking closely at the coin's details, preserving it properly, and storing it in a protective holder can help maintain its appearance over time. Many experienced collectors recommend studying the design elements and comparing examples to identify the strongest pieces for a collection. Patience and knowledge often play a major role in building an impressive assortment of historic British coins. The 1960 sixpence remains a wonderful reminder of Britain's rich numismatic heritage. Its historical significance, attractive design, and enduring popularity ensure that it continues to capture the imagination of collectors across the globe. Whether discovered in an old collection, inherited from family members, or purchased as part of a growing numismatic portfolio, this classic British coin continues to inspire excitement and curiosity. As collector demand remains strong, the 1960 sixpence stands as a treasured piece of history and a coin that many enthusiasts are proud to own. At number 3, the 1956 UK sixpence, a classic British coin that continues to attract attention from collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. Although millions of these coins were originally produced for everyday circulation, many examples have disappeared over the decades due to loss, damage, and melting. As a result, well-preserved specimens are becoming increasingly desirable in the collector market. The 1956 sixpence represents an important period in British coinage history and remains one of the most recognizable pre-decimal coins ever issued in the United Kingdom. The 1956 sixpence was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and features the young portrait of the Queen on the obverse side. The reverse displays the traditional floral design that many collectors associate with the classic British sixpence series. This coin circulated throughout Britain during a time of post-war economic growth and social change. For many people, it serves as a reminder of everyday life in the 1950s, making it not only a collectible item but also a piece of British heritage. Its historical significance adds considerable appeal among numismatists who appreciate coins with strong cultural connections. In terms of specifications, the 1956 UK sixpence weighs approximately 2.83 grams and was struck in copper nickel. The coin has a diameter of around 19 millimeters and was designed to withstand the rigors of daily circulation. These technical details may seem simple, but they play an important role in authentication and grading. Collectors often check weight, diameter, and overall appearance to ensure that a coin is genuine and has not been altered over the years. When discussing rarity and condition, the condition of a coin can make an enormous difference to its desirability and value. A 1956 sixpence in fine condition still retains a pleasing amount of detail, with many of the important design elements remaining visible despite signs of circulation. Fine condition examples are often sought after because they offer a balance between affordability and collectability. As the number of attractive surviving specimens gradually declines, collector demand continues to strengthen, especially for coins that display clear lettering, well-defined features, and minimal damage. The market for vintage British coins has grown considerably in recent years, and the 1956 sixpence has benefited from this increased interest. While ordinary circulated examples may trade for modest sums, exceptional pieces that stand out due to their preservation, eye appeal, or unique characteristics often generate significant excitement among collectors. Some enthusiasts speculate that particularly desirable examples could achieve impressive prices in specialist markets. Enthusiastic buyers have occasionally associated outstanding pieces with values ranging from $1,500 to $3,000, while especially remarkable examples have been discussed at figures of $5,000, $7,500, or even over $10,000. These higher figures typically reflect strong collector enthusiasm, scarcity in superior grades, and competitive demand from buyers looking to add quality pieces to their collections. For collectors interested in acquiring a 1956 sixpence, careful examination is always recommended. It is important to inspect the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the clarity of the reverse design, and the overall surface quality of the coin. Coins with attractive natural toning, minimal scratches, and strong remaining detail tend to attract the greatest attention. Proper storage is equally important, as protecting a coin from moisture, dirt, and excessive handling can help preserve its condition and long-term appeal. Collectors who take the time to learn about grading standards often find it easier to identify pieces with stronger investment and collection potential. The enduring popularity of the 1956 UK sixpence demonstrates how even a small coin can hold significant historical and collector interest. Its connection to mid-20th century Britain, combined with its distinctive design and growing demand among enthusiasts, ensures that it remains a favorite within many collections. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the fascinating world of coin collecting, the 1956 sixpence offers an excellent opportunity to own a piece of British history. As interest in vintage UK coinage continues to grow, this classic sixpence remains a coin that many collectors are eager to find, preserve, and proudly display in their collections. At last, the UK sixpence dated 1963 in faded condition. Although many examples of this coin circulated extensively throughout Britain, certain surviving pieces have become increasingly desirable among collectors who appreciate historic British coinage. The 1963 sixpence represents one of the final years of the traditional pre-decimal currency era, making it an important piece of British monetary history and a treasured addition to many collections. The 1963 sixpence was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and carries the elegant portrait of the young monarch on the obverse. The reverse features the beautiful floral design that many collectors recognize instantly. During the early 1960s, the sixpence remained a familiar and widely used denomination throughout the United Kingdom. It was commonly found in everyday transactions and became an important part of daily life for millions of people. Today, these coins provide a direct connection to a bygone era and allow collectors to hold a small piece of British history in their hands. When discussing the specifications of the 1963 sixpence, one of the most important details is its weight. The coin was struck with a standard weight of approximately 2.83 grams and measures around 19 millimeters in diameter. Despite its relatively small size, the sixpence carries considerable historical significance. The craftsmanship and detail present on these coins continue to impress collectors, even when examples have experienced years of circulation and wear. The faded condition of a 1963 sixpence creates an interesting collecting story. A faded coin typically shows signs of extensive handling, with softened details, worn surfaces, and reduced luster. While such condition issues generally place a coin below uncirculated examples in terms of collector grading, many enthusiasts still seek faded specimens because they demonstrate genuine circulation history. Every mark, worn edge, and softened design element reflects decades of use and adds character that some collectors find particularly appealing. Interest in the 1963 sixpence has remained strong as collectors continue searching for historic British coins from the final years before decimalization. Demand often increases when collectors attempt to complete year sets or build specialized collections focusing on Queen Elizabeth II coinage. As a result, attractive examples can generate significant attention within the numismatic community. The combination of history, nostalgia, and collectability helps maintain steady interest in these coins across various markets. In today's collector market, values can vary dramatically depending on factors such as eye appeal, preservation, rarity of specific varieties, and market demand. Some enthusiastic sellers and promotional listings occasionally advertise exceptional examples with speculative values reaching thousands of dollars. A particularly desirable 1963 sixpence with outstanding collector appeal may be presented with asking prices of around $2,500, $4,000, or even $7,500, while especially remarkable pieces are sometimes promoted at figures exceeding $10,000. These impressive numbers often attract considerable attention from collectors eager to discover hidden treasures in old coin collections. Stories of valuable finds continue to inspire people to examine inherited collections, old savings boxes, and forgotten coin albums in search of noteworthy examples. For collectors interested in acquiring or preserving a 1963 sixpence, careful examination is essential. It is always beneficial to study the coin's details under proper lighting and compare it with reference examples. Maintaining coins in protective holders can help prevent further wear and preserve their appearance for future generations. Collectors should also pay attention to any unusual features, striking characteristics, or variations that may increase interest among specialists. Building knowledge about grading and authenticity can significantly improve collecting success and enhance appreciation of these historic pieces. The enduring popularity of the 1963 UK sixpence demonstrates how even a modest circulating coin can develop a devoted following decades after its original release. Its connection to Britain's pre-decimal currency system, combined with its attractive design and historical significance, continues to make it a favorite among collectors. Whether discovered in an old family collection or purchased as part of a growing numismatic portfolio, the 1963 sixpence remains a fascinating reminder of British heritage. As interest in classic UK coinage continues to grow, this historic coin is likely to remain highly sought after by enthusiasts who appreciate the stories and traditions preserved within every surviving example.